started a few years ago. A friend and I had come up with the title of Sharknado, and we put it as a joke in a movie I wrote for Sci-Fi Channel called Red Clover, or Leprechaun's Revenge. And Sci-Fi saw the reference in there because it was something to the effect of, this town will never live this down, just like that town over that had that Sharknado or something. It was some weird little jokey reference, and the Sci-Fi people said, we gotta make this movie. And then suddenly we're making Sharknado.
You think that there's nothing left after you do something like the first movie, and then suddenly there's just like all these crazy ideas, and it's like, what if we went to like the Empire State Building and we do this, and what if we decapitate the Statue of Liberty?
The first Sharknado just blew people's minds. I mean, never in TV history has something premiered and then been reshown and had such a ratings changed. I mean, it blew people's minds. And it's because it's the unthinkable, and you only dream about these kind of things actually really happening, and to make a movie about something as nonsensical as, you know, sharks in a tornado attacking downtown LA and then going to New York, it's just so insane that I had to be a part of it.
Okay. All right, good. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, guys, here we go. Pictures up, pictures up, pictures up.
Just the white shot.
Just in a white.
Okay,
but it's
good.
going to be quicker, none of the other stuff in between. None of the other stuff in that's talking.
Oh, okay, got it,
It's
got it,
really
got it.
about you and the master and them. For
It's
those
all
things.
about me, honey.
It's all about you, baby.
We started pretty early working with Thunder, and you know, I knew from the beginning I wanted to do this plane sequence, which was kind of an homage to the Twilight episode A Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, where William Shatner sees the gremlin on the wing of the plane. And basically, Finn's going to New York with Tara, and this is he sees a shark on the wing, and then it just turns into a full-blown Sharknado. And so that was actually the great part, is that everybody was on board with that from the beginning. So I had a lot of time to think of how I wanted to do that. And so when Thunder delivered the script, it's like, that's exactly what we talked about, and there was no. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Wait, one more time, let her go. And 1, 2, 3, grab it! Look behind you! Look, there's a shark behind you! Okay, now reach for the gun, reach for the gun! Reach for the gun, you got the gun! Now lift it up, lift it up, lift it up! And shoot, they're behind you, and shoot! Cut! It's a bonus.
This time around, we're making a few changes. Tara Reid's character, April, is a lot more kick-ass than she was in the first one. Ian Ziering's character, Finn, he's coming into his own here as an action hero. And the city plays a bigger role in this one than Los Angeles did. This is New York.
I think my favorite part about filming in the city is that we're actually in the city. No green screen here. These are the iconic buildings as they were made, as we love them, as they're familiar to the rest of the world. So shooting right here in the middle of Broadway with the dynamic of the pedestrians and the police and real life going around this fantasy life really creates this atmosphere that makes New York City so great. So couldn't think of a better city to have Sharknado hit.
The things that we wanted to go for New York that were iconographic, obviously you have Empire State Building, you have Times Square, Statue of Liberty. We had to come up with something special with the Statue of Liberty, and I think we came up with something really cool where two garbage trucks play a game of Pong with the head of Statue of Liberty that's been decapitated. And then we're actually shooting on an MTA transit subway.
One of the most important things I wanted to have happen for Sharknado 2 was I wanted to pay back all the sports people that embraced our movie, even though the first movie really didn't have anything sports related other than Finn was a former surfer. So what's the most American thing in New York aside from the pizza and everything? And it's baseball. So there was a thing early on where there's no way Major League Baseball will sign off. It's too complicated, especially for a low budget movie. There's no way that this can happen in the time. The Mets and Major League Baseball came to us and said, we'll do this. And they gave us their stadium for a day. And we got to do this huge action sequence there, which was just amazing.
And action!
Yeah, I'm starving. Hey, you made it. All right.
Hey, guys, hug it out. Wow, you you haven't seen them in a while. They grow like weeds. Look, I don't know if you guys heard. They're making emergency landing here. See, April? So today we're filming here at Citi Field, and it's crazy weather today, which is perfect. It lends itself beautifully to what we're doing. So we've had sun in a snowstorm, and then we've had a complete dark sky with no snow. We've had snow that was literally falling up, which I don't know how that happens. And now we're shooting a scene that takes place in the middle of July, and get a good look at the field because it's covered with snow now. But as you have seen in the movie, or are about to see in the movie, it's not going to look like that. With the magic of Hollywood, we're able to change all of that.
We wanted to do the finale at the Empire State Building. In order to do something with the Empire State Building, you also need permission and a license to show the Empire State Building. And we're very close to actually being able to shoot on the observation deck of the Empire State Building, but because the sequence took place in the daytime, the only time we could do it at night, it just became very complicated. We decided to build the observation deck on a stage. And so we were shooting our own little self-contained observation deck, which looked really good. They really designed a nice observation deck and put a big green screen, and we were able to have fans and stuff blowing, and no one was going to fly, you know, millions and millions of feet to the ground.
And action. Okay, let's toss it and come down. And catch it. All right, and I need to go in there and call up to her. How we doing?
We had to work around certain difficulties. For example, from the script to what I'm getting, there was a whole scene that was written in the script that they couldn't shoot. They just didn't have the time, they didn't have the resources, they couldn't really flood New York City that much, so that scene was never shot. So it was a challenge a little bit in post to try and figure out, okay, how to bridge this beat of the story to what's coming next and make sense of it and keep it entertaining.
There's so many other moving pieces than the first movie because we had a lot of requirements. We had to make sure this person was here or this extra was a special important person. We had Major League Baseball that was a major part of this movie, and they had to sign off on everything. And so on this movie, you know, they actually gave us archival footage to put in the movie and worked with us to make it feel like it was part of the game that was being played in the movie. So that was another big part of the post process where, you know, we were kind of guessing what you're going to get because we didn't get that footage until the latter part of the edit process of the film. Plus you have 300 main visual effects, and not just simple visual effects, but massive shark visual effects. And then David Latt, one of the producers, did another 300 of like weather stuff to smooth over the transitions from the visual effects shots. And so it's a mad dash. You know, you're getting an assembly edit, but you're picking shots that have to be visual effects ahead of time, even though you don't have a lot cut.
It's a very heavy visual effects movie, but it's also, we have a time constraint, so we can't go over too much. A good example to talk about visual effects, there's that scene where the main characters are on the cab. They're getting on the hood of the cab, and they have to swing over to get to safety because there's sharks in the water. I did the first pass of that scene, not trying to think about visual effects count, just cutting it the way I think people would want to see it. And then we sat down with the visual effects people, and we realized that with the overall movie, we were about 500 visual effects over what we needed to be, so we had to go back and, you know, make some tough choices.
I always say that, you know, because of the first movie, it's like it feels like I never stopped making the first movie. It doesn't feel like Sharknado 2. It feels like Sharknado 1 has just continued on for a year and a half. And we had a lot of fun making both movies, and the fact that they liked the first movie and made it a hit means that we got to make a second one. We got to make a better movie. We got more toys. We got New York, the biggest Tinker toy set in the world, and we got to do a lot of great things and work with a lot of great people.